Well, not exactly what I wanted from a Universal Wolfman movie, but we will take what we can get. Now, as I'm trying to do more of, I haven't seen any of the trailers. I don't know anything about the movie, and I went in completely blind, just to make sure that I have no preconceived notions about it. So I like Lee Whanell, and as a director, I do enjoy his movies. I really liked Upgrade, and I kind of liked Invisible Man and even Insidious 3 to an extent. I was really surprised to see his name attached to this. And the things that he does really well, they're all here, especially with the setting and the world, creating that atmosphere and sticking to it. He does extremely well, even in his previous movies, and he does the same here. So, did he stick to his strong zone? Not exactly. One thing he's still not good at is keeping those interpersonal relationships between the characters. The dynamics between them always seem to take the back seat, and in Wolfman it's no different. He tries to spring himself up more in this regard, but it never really takes off. For example, the son, or Christopher Abbott's character, trying to be a different dad after seeing his own father, that entire track is completely abandoned within the second and third acts of the movie, so why even have it? Or even Christopher Abbott's character himself. Um, I never really understood what Lee Whannell was trying to go or where he was trying to take him, but that's up for him to know. Again, putting so much focus on his character doesn't allow Julia Garner's character or the daughter character to even shine, even when they're supposed to be the center of the movie. It's in this pursuit that I feel that he tries to imitate his brother in arms, James Wan, in making up those dynamics. But then again, James Wan can stay in an atmosphere as well as Whannell can, but it's when you get both of them together that you get a Saw. There were a few decent shots in the movie. The cinematography was decent enough, especially the wide shots in the open woods. They all look pretty cool. But since most of the movie happens at night, for obvious reasons, you don't really get to see and appreciate it as much as you would like to. And the score felt sort of bland and unexciting, nothing extraordinary. Acting was decent, especially by Christopher Abbott, and the makeup department really helped in creating that sort of atmosphere to sort of lift the movie up. But the main question is, and my biggest question is, why this movie? Who is this movie for? Don't get me wrong, I was very happy to see that this was made by Universal, and got me excited thinking like, oh, okay, this is a rehash of their MonsterVerse series that they had a couple of years ago, and I sort of expected to see a Russell Crowe or a Tom Cruise cameo towards an end slash post credit scene, but no buck. Instead, we get a standalone of their classic, which, hey, I'm completely okay with too. It's just, did we really need this sort of movie now? I get that you want to reintroduce your monsters and sort of show it off to a whole new generation of people, but the movie isn't a horror, or at least it's not as classic as your classic. And even in the drama department, it fails there as well. So, what is it? I'm trying to think who would want to go watch this movie. A couple on date night? No, because it's just not scary enough. It's just not a fun movie. Maybe a old fan of the original Wolfman? No, even then, because this isn't as appealing as the original, doesn't have any of the magic to make it iconic. Maybe a horror fan? Again, it's just not scary at all. It's not a horror movie. So, who is this movie really for? So, was it literally for people who were excited to see that Universal was making a rehash of their old monster movie and just were like, okay, well, why not? Don't get me wrong, I really want this movie to make money so that Universal would maybe make more of its monster movies. But in the same regard, I want them to be scary. I want them to be a good horror movie so that I would enjoy watching Universal Monsters as I imagine them to be on the big screen. I've never seen the originals in the theater, so this would be my first experience with that. I just wanted it to be more exciting, more energetic. You had the R rating, so now why not just go full ham from the get go? Um, Like, for example, the nail scene or the scene where he's in the basement, those scenes could have gone way further than you left it at. And I just didn't get why. You're not trying to make a low budget indie art film, and you by no means should you be making that with something like Wolfman. Again, as much as I hate to compare, I feel a film like Malignant, for example, got its tone perfectly set through its pacing. So you never really felt that it ever slowed down or got dull. There's just a lot of potential wasted with this film, and that's why I'm so disappointed with it. But yeah, overall, I would say Wolfman's just another forgettable monster flick where nothing really happens, even though as much as it tries to.